Hello, and welcome to another episode of the New World Comics Podcast. I'm Buck Berlin, owner of this fine establishment. With me this week, I have George Carle.
Good evening.
And Eric Russell.
How's it going, people?
And, we're a little late to the game, I guess, in the grand scheme of things about talking about Thanos.
It's never too late.
Yeah, we feel like, all the other places haven't quite covered all of the bases, even if they're going systematically, they're not really breaking it down. They're just like, and then this thing happened, and it was this, it's, they're not
true story
getting into the meat of things. So I think that it's up to us to do this, and you'll stick around for the wild ride of, oh no, we got this wrong. Hold on, let's go back, do this. No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong.
I reserve the right to be wildly wrong.
Yeah, so with us we have the anti-Thanos fan.
Boo.
George.
AKA the anti-purple dark side.
Yeah, and the pro-purple dark side fan, Eric Russell.
Oh, yeah. Because that's how Thanos talks in my world.
Yeah, so right before we started this thing, you all had the near showdown over Thanos versus Thanos.
Yes. And
so enunciation is key.
But I politely deferred to the fan.
Okay. That's right. Well, you know what? Because you were going to take the L.
Thanos.
So it's Thanos.
Okay.
And we also agreed that Thanos in Cree means yo mama.
Not mine in particular.
No.
It's
Just
general.
Mothers in general.
And okay.
And so just understand that if I say Thanos at the end of one of your arguments.
Okay.
So
it's kind of it's like the opposite of As You Wish from
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So would Vanilla Ice be like, word to your Thanos, or
We'd be word to you Thanos.
Yeah.
Come on now, Buck. Let's get it. The real question is, what would Snow say? Yeah, think on that for a minute, America. That guy's still around. Easily the worst Canadian white rapper of all time. Maybe the only one.
I don't know, man. YouTube's probably got some.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
Yeah. So before we get too much further, since we're at the dark side Thanos thing, the animated movies had just come out. The Superman, Supergirl, Batman thing came out, and we had it on up here, and Darkseid was dangling people over a cliff. He said, "Darkseid is nothing but DC's Suge Knight." Well, that is the funniest thing, and I'm never going to not think of Darkseid as just super powered Suge Knight.
I like it.
Yeah.
He's like, you take this record deal, or I'll destroy the earth. 10% of the gain is mine.
Guess what the anti-life equation is?
That's exactly.
It's my cut.
That would explain much.
Yeah. Sorry.
I can't get that out of my head now.
You're the one who started it.
I'd already forgotten. Sorry.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was just this perfectly timed, Suge Knight. Oh, yeah. That's not going away ever.
That was not on your notes at all. This looks like a really wild term.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we went Vanilla Ice, it was the, oh yeah.
That's true. Never thought you'd hear a hip-hop Thanos kind of dark side reference.
Listen, man, it's 2019.
This is what we do.
Yeah, there's nothing new.
Nobody's getting this anyplace else, Buck. This is the kind of content that's what I'm here for.
Tell your friends and neighbors.
That's right.
I got whiplash just from...
Yeah. All right, so let's start off with the beginning. Okay. So acknowledging that, yes, Thanos is a dark side derivative. I mean, in creation, Jim Starlin, from various interviews and things like that I've read up on, while he was creating him, he was asked by an editor to make someone that's kind of like that dark side guy over at DC. So he did.
That hurts, Buck. This is how you're going to start things?
Listen, it's how you have to with the brutal and honest truth. But right before we started the podcast, George did bring up is, when does the derivative of a thing become its own thing?
Yeah, so unexpected help from me.
This is true. Yeah. You have helped Mario. You are,
Yeah, which,
Thank you.
When the knockoff becomes the I don't know, the true product, I think is when something happens or it does something to come into its own. It changes whatever the repetitions are that make it that knockoff.
I agree. You know what? Until you said that, I just realized Thanos is the Popeye's chicken sandwich to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A is Darkseid. Everybody knows you're comfortable there. You know who he is. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Thanos, bam, on the scene, new, spicy. He's got to take on things.
Yeah, well, and
People go by droves to see him.
Another unexpected turn, too, in the course of the conversation.
well, and with Darkseid, it's kind of this like evil tea bad guy that's just like, I am, all that is evil. I am all that ever will be, and
True story.
I am oblivion. Thanos wants death, or he wants to rule things, or he wants,
He's a man of many talents, many means, many goals.
yeah, and
Sort of.
yeah, kind of, sort of,
It's kind of like, one is anti-life, the other one's more pro-death.
yeah.
That's it. How many times can you meet someone that says, I wanted to stay dead?
Yeah,
That's what I love about him.
yeah. Well,
True to the game.
so let's kick off with the whole behind the scenes on Thanos. Of he is an offshoot of the Eternals that live on on Titan, the moon.
Moon of Saturn.
Yeah,
Right.
but he's a derivative Eternal, the Deviants.
Yes.
You see, the thing is, I when you just broke that on me, it's like I never thought of it that way, because if you go back to, you're using the paradigm from Earth with the Eternals, the Deviants, and the humans, which were supposedly untouched, and then later on we find out, well, the Celestials kind of dropped some stuff in there, and that's where the X gene is working and everything, and they retcon that a little bit. It's not like the Deviants are Eternals; they're like the opposite. It's like it's like saying the oranges are the other apples. It's like, no,
yeah, but the whole thing with
They're
Thanos
offshoots.
is that
They're offshoots.
well, they are, but Thanos was born from the offshoot on Titan as a deviant.
Oh, you mean the Eternals gave birth to a Deviant? Is that what you're
knockoff-
saying?
Yeah, so
Okay,
like
yes.
the Eternals that are on Titan, which are different than the Eternals on Earth.
Earth, right. Whole different.
Yeah, whole different thing, because
It's like
comics.
the educated cousins and then those guys.
But are they
Yeah.
originally from Earth? Because I thought they were originally from Earth and Reload.
I'm unclear on that one.
Yeah.
I'll be real honest with you.
Okay.
They've kind of gone around and around in that in the last few Eternals
Because
iterations.
because the Eternals, there was a while ago. Which one of those big mega Marvel stories they were talking about the Eternal Skrull, which is a non-shape-shifting Skrull. They went through the same thing that Earth did, except the deviant equivalents, the shapeshifters, are the ones that became dominant. But then there was the Eternal Skrull was some. He had all the powers of an Eternal, the eye beams and
Yeah.
everything, and flew. And then his mate was this like ever-changing Skrull that would never take the same form again. And that's when that got explained, at least to me, when I was as a reader. I was like, oh, okay, the Celestials are doing all sorts of things like this everywhere. So that's where they called it Eternal Skrull. So are the Titan Eternals the Reload Earth, or they've been retconned to be?
That they may have been retconned. I don't remember any of that, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they were from Earth and then split off.
Okay. So they're
Yeah.
ultimately of human stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listeners, feel free to write into Buck because it's his
Yeah.
fault. That's
Yeah.
actually the hashtag, and let us know if we're wrong on this. But
Yeah.
I got to agree.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many comics that come out and just out of nowhere, the knowledge like that will be dropped of the, oh, I was doing my research, and by the way, did you know?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like Beast will be fighting Mr. Sinister and be like, oh, and guess what? If you get the Celestials' toenails,
Right. And you mix
it'll turn the Kree into a scroll. No, like stupid stuff like that.
It's all genetics.
Yeah.
It's all good.
They always say retconned universe or rebooted universe.
Yeah.
And just
So I just wanted to kind of put out, who and what he was, because like the movies are probably going to delve into some of that, and I'm so terrified of the upcoming Eternals.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, because I mean, I love comics, and I can usually get into something and find something that I just absolutely love. I couldn't show you an Eternals comic that I love. I can show you some that are good,
Yeah.
some that are adequate, but nothing that I was like, ooh, this is my favorite.
Like
Well,
you should be reading this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
I'd say for me, the Eternals 12-issue miniseries #1, but just for the opening scene, where this dude that knows of the Celestials is giving this lecture at some symposium, whatever, and he's talking all about him, and everyone's saying, "Oh, bravo! This is wonderful! This is awesome!" Everybody leaves, and they forget what he's talking about. The Celestials have put such a whammy on everybody that Earth at that time could not remember.
Yeah.
And it had this. Because I when I grew up, it was during one of those UFO crazes, so it had all this Von Däniken feel to it and everything like that. That the space gods came to Earth and did all this stuff a long time ago vibe, and it kind of grabbed on me that way. But the rest of it was like, the rest of the story's not cool. But I want to read that scene again.
Yeah.
Well, they did I think there was a more recent miniseries where they were kind of awakening.
Yeah, where
they didn't know who they were.
Yeah, but it was the Neil Gaiman series, and I was more or less on board with it until like Icarus was this guy named Ike Harris.
Yeah, I saw that.
A wrestler.
And yeah,
Nice.
and
My name is Louis Cypher.
yeah,
Got
Mercury was Mark Curry, and Cersei was Cersei.
No,
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
John,
I quit.
John
I'm
Snow. John. Yeah.
yeah,
because she is.
yeah. It's
Cersei is.
yeah. They couldn't do anything dumb with that name. So yeah,
Cersei. What do you think? Cersei.
Cersei.
Spell
Yeah,
it with an S.
yeah.
I do have a question though, and this has always bugged me about Thanos' origins.
Yeah.
It's been retconned that the mother died in childbirth. No, he actually experimented on her and killed her. My real question is, how many other Eternals actually gave birth to a deviant? Like how?
Apparently, he's the first.
He was the first.
Yeah. First and only.
I gotta say, and the
that what
last
makes
if he
him-
has his way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Because after he killed him, everybody's like, "Well, we're not doing that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he was the one that
Okay.
Yeah. That's what makes him special.
So they were like, "This is a mistake."
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. He was absolutely an abomination from the get go.
My guy.
His brother Star Fox was so much better. And,
It's by the way.
Well,
Come on.
I mean,
let's jump around a little.
Yeah.
Let's go with and spoiler alerts on everything because we're talking about things that have come out since before now. So they finally found a good way to get rid of Star Fox because
Yes.
Star Fox, in the 80s, was the guy who had the power to make everyone like you and do whatever he wanted.
His superpower was roofing people.
Yeah, I mean, back then, like, man, that's an awesome power. And it wasn't construed as this thing that could be taken advantage of. It was he's a hero. Of course he wouldn't do that. And then, today being what it is, it's the, no, that's an awful power. There's no way to go but dark with that.
Yeah.
So,
he just he misused it.
yeah.
Clearly, I mean, the character Venus from Agents of Atlas essentially
That's right.
has a similar power, but that was never misused. It was always for quelling the bad guys.
Right,
and all
whereas
that.
he's going around and getting what he wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thanos was killed, again. And then Thanos took over the body of Star Fox and now is, morphed that into a Thanos-looking body. Yeah.
And I'm on board.
Yeah, and it's the...
I was fine with that too.
it's
Not a fan of Star Fox.
well, because, Star Fox being... one of the longest running Avengers, like he was in it for the better part of a decade.
That's true.
They'd never kick him out. He would just whammy him.
Yeah.
Like,
So it was just kind of this, how do you get rid of a character with such history with just not leaving him alone because some writer's going to come along and do something just awful and deplorable.
Absolutely.
How do you take someone out of that situation and make it something that is almost irreversible? And you throw Thanos into the mix.
that was great.
So
And
the question is, did Thanos get Star Fox's powers?
I'm
going to say no.
I would say no.
He doesn't care.
There it is.
Yeah, I like that. If he did, he didn't care. But I would say that since he changed the body to be Thanos, I would say that all that went away.
Yeah, because if the powers are essentially due to genetic tweaking and it's gotten rewritten.
Yeah, then all that's gone.
Okay. And by the way, I'm just going to say this because, again, fanboy here. We're burying the lead. You said died again. That's right. You can't keep my boy down.
So
I'm not quite dead.
So let's start this off, and we're going to go down the many deaths of Thanos. So Thanos came out swinging, looking for the cosmic cube.
Yep.
And for those that don't know, the cosmic cube used to be like in the Marvel movies, the Tesseract.
There it is.
What's wrong with the 4-dimensional hybrid?
Yeah, so it's not this thing that houses an infinity gem or stone. It's an object unto itself that is, there are many like it, but all of them are kind of the same or do different things depending on who's writing it and who read comics. Because like there was one cosmic cube that was like a one-time use thing, and then there are others that are like you hold it and you can do anything you want.
Yep. You gain cosmic sentience,
yes.
Right? Or am I saying that right? Or...
Yeah. So you get sentience, and then you have the ability to warp reality to whatever extent.
In the comics, it was the Infinity Gauntlet before there was an Infinity Gauntlet.
Right. But it was more limited use. Like,
right.
You didn't have full, understanding of everything. It was just this, you're aware of a lot of things, just not the everything.
The power of God, but not without the omniscience.
Right.
I'm locally omniscient.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's actually the perfect way to describe it. Because sometimes when you had the cosmic cube, it was just you could only warp reality, or sometimes it was, it was a teleportation thing that because again, a lot of the writers, didn't do the research and didn't quite understand, how to write around it being the most powerful thing ever.
Right.
So
until it wasn't.
Yeah. And there was a scroll that actually became a cosmic cube once, because like scrolls have this thing to where like they're shapeshifters, but the ultimate state of like being a scroll is when they can attain like permanent objectness.
Yeah,
or
something. They cease being or for lack of a better term, an organic being, and then
right.
this cube, that was the Shaper Worlds.
Yeah,
and then when he'd appear in his quasi humanoid, or rather scrollioid form, there would be this kind of this box-like part, and then there was a scroll.
Yeah, like he had a tank bottom and like
something,
a scroll
something like that.
Yeah.
It was like that. It was really contrived.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but
no
you'll get no argument from me.
Yeah.
On
yeah.
that one.
But no, he became he became a cosmic cube. And,
yeah.
And there was another scroll that became like the goggles for 3D
right,
Man.
I was just thinking about that was part of that, and that became there was some ultimate end state for a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. It just they needed a way to invent an object, and how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool, the idea of like, oh, the shapeshifter that can be anything becomes one thing forever,
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, man, Marvel got weird.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
No, that was just a giant.
That's super drunk at the end of the night, and you think you're being so profound.
Or it's called a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So
something.
So Thanos goes after a cosmic cube, and things end up not working out for him, and dies. Right?
Yeah.
And we don't see Thanos for what?
Oh wow. Well, it's more than a decade.
Yeah.
For sure. Possibly almost 2.
Yeah, like it was.
It was that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it was late 70s when all that went down, and then he didn't come back till 92, 93.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because Jim Starlin left DC and then came over to Marvel to write Silver Surfer. Is all right. Well, I'm going to bring back Thanos. So, first thing that he does, Thanos shows up and does the, "Hey, Surfer, I'm back. I'm about to do some bad stuff." And Surfer's like, "I thought you were dead."
Yep. And he's like, "You were wrong.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby."
It was like past tense.
Yeah. So then we find out about these Infinity Gems. Like we knew about Adam Warlock's Soul Gem.
Yeah.
Because it, inside it had the whole soul realm and powers that all the people inside of it had, and could harness that and sometimes even go inside of it and
and come back out.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Now, in the story behind the story, was that something they just kind of stumbled into? Everyone kept inventing these gems, and then someone said, "Hey, wait a minute."
So it was one of those where if there's one, there should be several others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I apologize. So just to back things up a little bit, it occurred to me when you said Warlock, he and Thanos are like linked.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean, they originally weren't, because like Warlock showed up in Fantastic Four and then showed up in Thor, where they kind of explained more or less what he was.
Right.
And then
he had his own trippy series in the late 80s?
late
70s?
Yeah.
With the Magus?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, am I saying that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So Magus is evil Adam Warlock with an awesome fro.
Oh my gosh. Listen, dude, I got to tell you, I love that dude the minute I saw him.
Yeah.
Purple and an afro? I was like, what?
Yeah. And, spoiler alert, it's Adam Warlock.
It
It's
is.
the evil Adam Warlock.
That's right.
Like, if he gets, like, his coffee order wrong, like, oh, here comes some Magus.
Yep. I ordered vanilla.
Yeah.
But
But no, he'll just go crazy for a little while, and then something will happen, and all of a sudden he's better.
yeah.
Then he'll vow again to never become.
Right. But in that series, he enlisted Thanos to help him defeat the Magus. And that's when their relationship kind of, I was like, when I was reading as a kid, I was like, wait, what? You know this guy?
Yeah.
And it's like, why would Thanos help you? And, oh, that's why he would help you. He's going to kill you. Okay. And
Yeah.
take your stone, which was awesome, which is why I love Thanos. But I wanted to mention one of the things they introduced in the Warlock series with regard to the Soul Gem was it was sentient.
Yeah.
And it had to choose you, or you had to be deemed worthy. And like, it didn't like Warlock at first. And then
And has that been kind of like
Well,
de-emphasized?
so
to a certain extent.
in the last couple of years, the Infinity Gems, as we knew them, got destroyed. Like Captain America, tried to use the gauntlet after the Illuminati put it all back together, and they got destroyed. It's not like in the movies where you have to harness the power and do a thing.
Yeah.
Like anyone can hold them, anyone can use them.
Yeah.
You just kind of throw them, and the Infinity Gauntlet is like, it's Thanos' glove that things are stuck to.
Yeah. It's
Like,
not
it's not-
special other than this is my glove. There are many like it. However, this glove is mine.
Yeah.
Just don't steal it from him.
Yeah, like you could have the Infinity headband if you really want it. Like it's,
It's so
Doesn't
many,
quite
so many
as well,
design
yeah.
options.
yeah, like it's just put it on a belt. Put it,
Then, all right. Well, then, if that's his, then where did the abundant glove come from? From Howard the Duck, which is continuity. I mean, the lesser and opposite version.
Yeah.
Did someone steal the other glove and then just
Thinking.
I'm thinking that once his glove got taken, he was like,
just left the other one on the nightstand, and then
Yeah.
his butler. Who is it? Does Thanos have a butler? I mean, I
I
just
would-
hate him.
He does not have a butler.
There
he has
was-
many robot droids that butler for him.
okay, hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, you're
again.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Thanos shows up to trash talk Silver Surfer, like, hey, I don't know where Warlock is, but you'll do.
Pretty much.
I'm about to go do some bad stuff. It was like, oh no, I hate bad things. We'll see you later. Like for real, like that's
It was very well written.
Yeah.
Very, very basic.
I mean, like obviously, Jim Starlin was like, all right, so let's do some bad guy stuff.
Yep.
Let's not worry about what Silver Surfer did, because he was the pacifist that
Right.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Cosmic powered pacifist.
Yeah.
What a waste.
just
So-
found worlds to lunch on, but
So-
that kind of cuts against the whole pacifist thing.
He ain't eating them.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we get the Thanos quest that where you find out where the other Infinity Gems are, and you find out why he's after them. You find out what they do, how he gets them, and it's him either tricking his way into them or defeating or setting up someone for their own defeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
He took them from the Elders of the Universe.
Yeah.
Another offshoot group of, I don't know, dudes that have been around for a while.
Yeah, well, some of it, like the
They're the last of their respective races, and they're immortal. Some of them have powers. Some of them, like the Obliterator, he's just a guy that likes to destroy things. He's like the Punisher was the last person on Earth. And
yeah, but like the
Gardner.
the Gardener is one, but like the strength one, the champion of
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he had the power. He had the power stone.
yeah.
My personal favorite was the In-Betweener, because
Yeah.
that is the worst name.
Well, but was he eventually declared
He was
Okay.
Yeah. So the way that it all set up was Thanos realized that if you got the stones in certain succession, they would back each other. That time and space were linked, so one would only work so well, but if you had both of them, then you could really do anything and everything, because space will get you so far, but it is really linked to time and that kind of stuff. And if you had the Power Stone behind it, which the
gas sphere engine.
Yeah, like it really amped up everything, and then the soul would help you understand the better use of all of them, and it was just this
the mind gem, I guess, will give you the capacity, because if you're omnipotent and omniscient, you couldn't make anything because you couldn't create something.
You couldn't comprehend.
Right, you couldn't create a frog just with power because you wouldn't know how to build one.
And then you would understand what everyone else was thinking, and so it was just this really neat way that he set up how all of them worked together to really be the end all be all, as opposed to hey, I'm holding this cosmic cube.
He took a lot of courses while he was dead.
Yeah,
he did. Well, he did. He stared into the depths of the infinity well while he was dead.
Yeah,
didn't know that was a thing, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
By the way, folks, what you're talking about, Buck, is the Thanos Quest 2 issues.
Yeah.
Fantastic read. You should run down to your local comic shop called New World Comics and pick it up. A shameless plug.
This was pretty local.
It is pretty local.
They don't have it as its own trade anymore. They have it in with the Silver Surfer ones that I'm talking about, where Thanos shows up, talks smack, leaves, does some stuff, comes back, was like, "Hey, I'm ready. Ready whenever you guys are."
Yep,
we'll do this. So Thanos gets everything ready and decides that now's the time that he's going to impress Death. He's going to kill half the universe.
Yep.
And that's where all the stuff just kind of goes from there. Like that's where the heroes get recruited. That's where they decide that they need to take the gauntlet. They need to avenge the deaths of all their people. And that's when Adam Warlock gets the Infinity Gauntlet.
This guy again.
Yeah.
Every time.
So he gets the gauntlet, and then because Thanos, the key to Thanos is he ultimately doesn't believe that he deserves to win. So
I agree.
What the? That is the I think we've discussed this, but that's the lamest.
But he is perpetually
ever.
Self-defeating.
This is
well, that's what happens though when you back yourself into a corner with you giving infinite power to somebody. Well, then what can defeat them? Themselves. The writer is forced to get there. Sorry.
And it's kind of the perfect thing with Thanos because he's trying to court death, so of course he's trying to defeat himself ultimately.
That is the worst argument ever, Buck. I'm sorry. I respect you.
I've heard worse.
As a fellow human.
I think you don't like the argument because it just barely scrapes by. It's getting some paint off of it.
It is the worst ever. It's like, well, I know I've almost destroyed the universe 6 times, but surely I'm not worthy. Yes, you almost destroyed it 6 times.
It's because Death turns him down all the time as he's crushed.
Okay, so let's talk this Death thing for a minute.
Yeah.
Am I the only one uncomfortable with they draw her hot? Is that weird?
It's supposed to be however...
Decline to answer.
It's supposed to be however you perceive it, and since Thanos perceives her as the most beautiful thing in the world, that's why she's drawn that way.
I got. So my interpretation would be like a Beyonce kind of thing.
Yeah, because you would be in love with
assuming you're in love with Death.
Well, if she looked like Beyonce.
But now you're getting, if she looked like that, then you'd be in love with her. But if she wouldn't look that way unless you, so you got a conundrum going there.
She's a skeleton, and more to the point, and I know we're getting
good
off
bone
here.
structure.
Yeah, she does have good bone structure because this is what I'm getting at. Great lead in. How do they draw Death with curves? I mean, seriously, come on now. She's a skeleton. They'll show her face in the cloak as a skeleton, but she's got come on, nope.
Well, that just goes back to his point.
It's the whole high concept of death, and then your perception of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all of that to say that is the lamest weakness of all time.
Which death is it? Because really, are we looking at the second Death at this point based on what happened in Secret Wars 2?
So
that's a good point.
That's really a good question that I don't think they've actually ever addressed.
I think that's another one of those harumph kind of things. But it was some guy. Some guy was like the Beyonder jazzed him up with power, and then I guess it was some weird story like he lost all purpose or something like that. And it's like, well, tell you what, we need a new death. Boom, to kind of rewrite everything, and then
we're gonna call that continuity problems.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But to your point, yes, I get it. It is. I've written myself into a corner. He's all powerful and he's a bad guy. But is he really a bad guy?
Yes.
Okay, maybe.
With that brings you back to.
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that's where a lot of this other stuff comes up, because after the Infinity Gauntlet, the elders of the universe decided that Warlock, since he was born an adult, didn't have the concept of and understanding of how to properly utilize the gauntlet, so they made him break it up. They're saying, hey, spread the wealth. It's too much power for one man.
Diffuse the bomb is really what's going on.
Yeah. So he gets his friends and gives them each one of the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Gems.
Which, by the way, how about that? He went and got his buddies in a universe full of people to select that includes Captain America.
He's like, hey, Pip the Troll, and Drax, who at the time
Space Hulk
was mentally diminished Space Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the purple cape.
Yeah, with skull cap and purple cape.
True story.
Yeah.
Look it up, America.
Who thought that it was a jelly bean, and he ate it.
Yep, that happened.
Pip the Troll kept it between his toes because he thought no one would look there.
He was right.
And then
he was right.
Yeah. Moondragon and Gamora just kept theirs, I think, on their foreheads, and then there was one other member that no one knew who it was until the Infinity War.
There it is.
Ooh. Yeah, where we got all the doppelgangers of the evil versions of everyone, and then you find out that the sixth person that he gave the stone to was Thanos himself.
Dang Skippy, baby. And if I remember right, it was the Reality Stone?
Yeah, because who better to guard that one than the person who stole it the last time?
That's all I'm saying. It's like hiring a hacker to do your cybersecurity.
Yeah.
But we don't think of it as giving him a head start on the next time he recollects them.
No, we don't. Because, again, he's a bad guy, but is he a bad guy?
I'm thinking yes.
Yeah.
He's an awesome bad guy.
Yeah. They decided to put the Infinity Gauntlet back together because that's a great idea.
It worked so well the first time.
In spite of all the tones to your voice, the Infinity Watch, Warlock and the Infinity Watch, great series.
It really is.
It was fun
to a point.
Well, 21 through 21 at least.
Yeah,
I think.
Right until they put the gauntlet back together.
Yeah, and I guess I mean 20. I don't know why 21 sticks out in my mind as far as going that far because it was Monster Island again. Shameless plug for Marvel Monster fans.
Yeah,
True story.
And then honestly, I forget how Infinity War ended, and then all of a sudden. Infinity Crusade shows up with the Universal Life Church and her showing, because Adam Warlock when he first showed up was him.
Yep.
And then her, which
Yeah.
So listen, I love seeing me some Thanos, but those two series and all their subsequent crossovers were pure cash grab.
Pain.
Yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's when Thanos decided that he needed clones and robots of himself.
Exactly. You know why?
Why are you excited about that?
Butler.
Why are you excited about that? That was horrible.
You want to tell us about that?
Okay, so first let's just get the elephant addressed in the room. Somehow, some way, Kazar beat a doppelganger of Thanos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kazar in the Savage Land.
Big Kazar fan?
If you're not familiar with Kazar, he's Tarzan. Basically. He is literally a Tarzan ripoff that Marvel got to keep.
But it dates back pretty far.
Oh no, he literally is a Tarzan ripoff. Yeah.
But so at this point, Marvel said, "Hey, there's plenty of guys like Eric out there who, if you throw Thanos on that book, i.e., Wolverine overexposure, we will buy it." And they proceeded to make some of the worst, and I do mean the worst. Look, there's not often I get mad when I read a comic because you got to keep an open mind. It's a world of imagination. But when I read that Kazar beat a Thanos doppelganger, I was done.
how'd you feel about the Thanoscopter?
There we go.
Listen, I
A
just
topic I like.
Yeah.
So, okay. For those of you who may not remember the electric company, what are we, 70s?
Yeah.
70s. They did a partnership with Marvel.
Guess who paid for it? Thanos.
Thanos paid for it because Thanos suddenly showed up with a Thanoscopter.
Yeah. to get away.
Yes. Not to like obliterate Spider-Man, but to actually, I must leave now. And to me, my Thanoscopter.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is.
It even said his name on the side.
Yeah, it did. He advertised.
You know why? You know it's his.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I wouldn't touch that copter, man. It's Thanos' copter.
I'm sorry if it seems like I'm gloating, but I definitely heart goes out to you, and
Thank you.
that you have that memory.
We all go through
Yeah.
dark periods in our time. And the Thanoscopter may be one of the dark, even as a kid, and I didn't cuss much, but I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this to my guy. He just had the cosmic cube.
Even if you didn't know who he was,
Yeah,
it just didn't belong.
No. It's like,
I love it so much.
it's so awful.
I love.
So
Yeah.
awful. So
Okay.
But now I will rejoice a little bit about the in continuity Squirrel Girl defeat of Thanos.
Oh, we're about to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to get through a couple more of his deaths. So
multiple people, that means you can't keep a good deviant down.
So
Or Eternal.
Whatever.
in the early 2000s, Joe Quesada decided that he's tired of all these deaths and resurrections that happen month after month. Like a character would die, and then 2 or 3 issues later, like seriously, 2 or 3 issues later, the character would be back.
X-Men.
Yeah. So he decided to make the series the end, where death was going to be finite, and
How long did
the
that
Lords of Chaos were the ones who kept bringing people back.
No.
And Thanos decided that he was going to die and be the last death that stayed dead. And
That's right.
Because he died, all of the other deaths couldn't come back.
Yeah, I still don't get it.
No.
But
Yeah. So about a year later.
Oh, was it that long?
well, hang on. I just want to throw this out
Yeah.
here again. Bad guy. Was he a bad guy? He's trying to fix things. He's Thanos the fixer.
Yeah, the fixer.
He's
yeah.
fixing reality,
Yeah, it seems kind of broken.
sacrificing.
Yeah, about a
Heroic trait.
About a year later, we got
Selfish.
I forget what it was.
He's after a girl.
It involved the new Celestial Madonna, where like Silverclaw from the Avengers was now the new Celestial Madonna, and
Trying to forget all that, but go on.
but like I feel like that's where we got another peek at Thanos, and that's where he kind of sort of came back, but maybe not really.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, well, but we didn't really get a really good Thanos comeback until the Thanos Imperative.
Yes. And I'm just going to say this. Should anyone at Marvel ever actually listen to this, and I think you should, stop doing that mess. Stop it. It's an amazing character, but you're killing us. Stop with that crap.
Even I don't enjoy that.
Yeah, see? And he likes my pain.
Well, no, not your pain, but I'm sorry that you're feeling that
Saying,
way.
It's no, just that part has to stop. But continue.
So, the Universal Life Church is up to no good, and the newly formed Guardians of the Galaxy are back together.
That's right.
And they find out that they're growing someone new, and Warlock is freaking out.
Yep.
And he's thinking that he's about to Magus, and maybe he is, and maybe he won't. And then the church is, pushing all the right buttons, and the cocoon that everyone always freaks out about because out comes Warlock.
You mean the old mattress?
Yeah, yeah. So that's there in Warlock's, but I'm alive, and who could be in it? Maybe it's another me. Maybe nope.
Yep.
Out comes Thanos.
And he's not happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was Hulk Thanos for a while.
Yeah, because he was so upset about being alive again.
Yep.
Yeah. So they ignored the whole Celestial Madonna, whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So that was also the Cancerverse was introduced, where life conquered death.
Yeah.
And
Builds everything.
and the phrase fatah was the cuss word. Go look it up, people.
Yeah, it's there. It's amazing. So
It was Klingon,
So
Yeah.
as you kill someone or maim them or whatever, they will evolve past whatever just killed them. So like if they tear off an arm, then like maybe an insectoid arm will come out that's like more armored.
Yep. But
whatever.
you're living.
Yeah, but you're living and you're still the same, but you're ready and raring to go.
Also headed by evil Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Which, by the way, kids, The Death of Captain Marvel, still one of the best books I've ever read.
Yeah, Marvel, not like
Marvel.
not Carol Danvers, not Genus Vell, not Phyla Vell.
Nope.
Like not Monica Rambeau.
That's true.
Yeah, original. Well,
The one guy that stays dead in the Marvel Universe.
yeah. So Cancerverse, Marvel
Yes.
is running things.
And he's running the show, baby. I love it.
Yeah. So Thanos, his sworn enemy, decides, hey, this is my time to shine.
Should we play like the old 80s music? This is your moment.
Well, no, you should play that for Drax, who has one of the coolest moments.
Wow.
Because he went from being mentally,
Space Hulk to Riddick.
mentally impaired
Yes.
Space Hulk. Like he was buff and 15 feet tall and just huge. And then they pared him down to Riddick.
Yeah.
Like
Vin Diesel size.
Yeah, he was Space Vin Diesel.
But he's only got family, no friends.
Yeah, and he had like eye tattoos and didn't wear a shirt.
Yep.
Like he looks a lot like he does in the movies.
Yeah.
Just different tattoos.
And for your technical types, I think he was kind of half-powered.
Yeah.
He was like your
Yes.
bench press 50 tons if you were going to older Marvel.
But no more ray blasts.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It
No
was knives and
flying.
fists
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, but he decides that it's time to go kill Thanos because
That's how we started.
he's Drax the Destroyer. His sworn purpose is to kill Thanos.
Yep.
So he leaves and then comes back with his old Thanos killing costume. They're like, "Why are you wearing that?" He's like, "It's what I wear when I kill Thanos."
Exactly. These
Like,
are
you
my
haven't
killing
really-
pants.
Yeah.
You haven't really succeeded yet. So
Yeah,
how do you know
but
what time
it's-
to wear it?
It's absolutely one of my favorite moments because it's just that what? Why do you put that on? You look ridiculous. This is great. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
So
It's formal wear.
it all goes down, and then Magus ends up with a cosmic cube, and they have to take that from him. Then Star-Lord ends up with it, and then they defeat the Cancerverse, but they have to trap like someone has to be holding the cosmic cube to trap every bad thing in there.
It was the Cancerverse started collapsing
Yeah.
because they had to sacrifice Thanos, who was the avatar of death.
Oh, he was no, he was the avatar of life.
Well, in the Cancerverse.
Yeah, he was so he was the avatar of death here, but when he went over to the Cancerverse, he was the avatar of life. That's right.
Yep. And
Which was
I was tripping. But seriously, though, I know this sounds crazy, people, but you should read this. The Thanos Imperative is amazing.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
the Cancerverse collapses.
Like the entire run of Guardians of the Galaxy turns out was leading up to this. Like
Yes.
it couldn't have been more perfectly planned. It was such a beautiful these fun characters are spinning out of Annihilation. What are we going to do about that?
Yep.
Oh no, I forgot about Thanos coming back for Annihilation.
Oh, that's true. That's right. We skipped a death.
Oh yeah,
Took
because
vacation from death.
he
Death
died,
takes a holiday?
He died in that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just to put a pin in it, Cancerverse collapsing.
Yeah.
Thanos wants out. Nova and Star-Lord.
Nova
are
and
like,
Star-Lord. Yeah,
no way,
decide-
dude.
Yeah, because Star-Lord had the cosmic cube, but he was getting kind of wary and didn't think that he could do it all. And then Nova was like, "All right, man, I got your back.
Yep.
Let's do this."
See, now that's heroic sacrifice.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Listen. Eternal life, Fatah, would have taken over what is now our multiverse had Thanos not sacrificed. Just saying. So when I say, is he a bad guy?
Well, but
or
here's the
is
thing.
he a bad guy?
Still reserved the right to hate him.
Thanos.
I'll explain.
But the reason that he had to get trapped there was he was going to come back to this side of reality to take everything down.
Well, was he?
Again,
He
yes.
never got the chance. You know what?
He said, "Hey guys, I'm going to go do some bad stuff. Check me out my hood rat stuff."
So just to be honest, that's really Thanos' weakness. He extrapolates on what he's going to do.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like most villains.
Yeah.
give it to you. No monologue. Keep it to yourself. He'd have got out of there.
So,
But you mentioned Annihilation.
yes.
Great series.
Yeah, which really kind of redefined Marvel's cosmic stuff, and that's where they streamlined Nova. They got the Guardians of the Galaxy as most people know them now, ready and in shape. And it kind of made the Marvel cosmic threat more important because you had Galactus, and then you had
Annihilus.
Annihilus even at the time was like, oh, he showed up and you hit him with a board with a nail in it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Exactly.
And then, now he became like this ultimate threat.
Yes.
He had his own annihilation wave, and it's just this big swarm. It's this biblical plague that, on a cosmic scale that came and swarmed everything.
Cosmic locusts.
Yeah.
And I'd like to take a moment because, again, there's somebody who doesn't understand the grandeur of Thanos. Thanos helped capture Galactus, and use him as a power source.
Yeah.
Who did that? My guy.
Dr. Doom did that too.
You know what? And that sucked.
Now, and as a disclaimer, as far as my dislike of Thanos, it's not that I think the character is done poorly. As a matter of fact, I would say that Marvel has done cosmic and space stuff far better than DC. It's just, it's actually more of a, imagining this character, a personality like that, really, his truly depraved, sadistic nature is just like, I can't root for this guy on any level. And it was that, the Thanos wins. It was those actual the extras in the back of that trade, which was like, okay, he's not just about tallying up, all right, how many people we got in there, 1 trillion and divide by 2. No, he's like, all right, I'm going to go ruin this person's life. I'm going to go ruin that person's life.
Exactly.
So that is like, someone finally put him down forever. I mean, that'd be great. So I do not like a character like that on a personal level, but I do think they did a great job. I would say, too, that going through this history of the character, I think they have reestablished his own self-loathing and redesign as part of intrinsic to the character itself. There was a story which one of those, where he was fighting another version of himself, and at the end it was like Death kind of is into this new surviving Thanos moment, which I forget which story that was, because I read a whole bunch of them in succession, and again, you were warned for spoiler alert. So
yeah.
And Thanos wins again. It wasn't, he doesn't even respect himself.
Yeah.
And what he's become, and wink, wink, back to a point that you made before, as far as the personification of death. That character was established as cross continuity with DC's Vertigo.
That's right.
So,
she did look a lot like.
And there was that She-Hulk crossover. Yep. It was clearly that character. So there is precedent in other venues that there's more than what meets the eye.
I don't mind a good death cosplay.
Yeah,
I mean, make it happen.
Yeah. So I do think they do it well, and the archetype of the ultra big bad is done a lot better in Thanos than is. Darkseid's a little bit two-dimensional, comparatively. I would say it does bug me though if Thanos is like having that much dominance over Galactus in certain cases, in non-Infinity Gauntlets, cases or whatever. Right. It's just like, again, in Thanos wins, like, a million years from now, Galactus is just on the run from Thanos. That was a little bit too demeaning to Galactus as a character.
Galactus used to wear shorts.
Well,
that is my argument.
Well,
if you wore shorts,
hot too. Sometimes the heat's up too high. You
he's
need
just
shorts.
A breezy summer guy.
It's a big ship. There's he can walk. The windows are closed. He can walk around as he wants.
To your point, the power levels are a little varying depending on who's doing what.
I mean, I will say, speaking of power levels varying, it turns out that Squirrel Girl is the most powerful member of the Marvel Universe, because she defeated not only Thanos, but Galactus also.
Well, she talked him out of it, though. That was more of a jawboning him to stop the moon, as opposed to outright laying out Thanos in that panel with Uatu saying, yes, this is continuity. And hey, I know I'm shooting myself when I say this, because she's defeated Fin Fang Foom, beat Thanos. So it's like, I don't like seeing that, but
I'm just saying, here we have the panel.
Didn't happen.
But
in my head canon, never happened.
yes, Squirrel Girl. With my cosmic senses, I can confirm that this is, in fact, the one true Thanos.
Oh my gosh.
Not a robot clone or.
You know what? I could almost handle that if it wasn't drawn so well. If it was just one of those where, like Thanoscopter, right?
Yeah.
Remember that art from the 70s where you're like,
It's very simple, yeah.
yeah, I'd be like, well, clearly that was an imaginary tale.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to the problem I've said before, that if something is not drawn as comic book enough, it's too cartoony. You get, even if they say it's in continuity, it allows you to dismiss it.
Absolutely.
So it's almost a nerd coping mechanism.
It is my coping mechanism because
Yeah.
that didn't happen. And I'm going to share with you, I didn't read the rest of that book. I was done. I was like, this is a bunch of BS, and Eric's out. I went third person.
Well, ooh, that's quite a mechanism. The side irony. I mean, what two heroes, or I guess hero in Squirrel Girl's case, and Deadpool, and whatever he is, you want to say anti-hero. They're always at odds with each other. Yet both have had Thanos.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she defeated him, whereas I guess you could say Deadpool defeated him worse when.
Took his girl.
Yeah, that was a worse defeat.
So let's jump back.
Do you
in
accept
time.
that as? Do you accept that as?
I'm using the time stone.
Okay.
Let's go back to what Eric said before. Stop doing that crap. Stop it. Stop. I get it. You're selling books, but you're owned by Disney now. You don't have to do this anymore.
Admittedly, there
This is
was
great.
there was a time where I would have rejected that too, because it's just, all right, we need a little bit more seriousness here, and that is just inconsistent. But I guess my my time at New World has helped me lighten up a bit.
Oh,
on that. So,
look at that. So you've grown.
Yeah,
I haven't. I'm regressing.
I'm just saying that my love of the absurd and silliness will spread to everyone.
I love.
It's like the Cancerverse.
Yeah.
See, exactly.
Oh,
Fatah.
no.
Yeah.
I'm like a cancer.
So, well,
Oh, no.
Well,
or a weed.
Yeah.
that's what-
But in all seriousness, that's not the character you use for that. It's just not. It frustrates me so much.
Frustrates you, makes me, gives fuel to my pro Squirrel Girl
My God.
campaign.
If they never write another Squirrel Girl, I'm good.
Oh, I'd be crushed.
See, I was fine until the series. And again, it goes back to that art issue. I understand why they did it and the demographic they were after, et cetera, and I enjoyed it. But after a while, it just became more of its own self. And it's like, all right, you know what? The Squirrel Girl Chase comics for me are everything before that comic.
Yeah.
I, for one, enjoy becoming oneself.
Of course you would. You would.
Yep.
Now, when you say don't use that character, you mean don't use Thanos?
Don't use Thanos.
Or don't use Deadpool to try and steal his girl. She says somebody else. Maybe like the in-betweener.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
If it had been like a road trip with Adam Warlock and Thanos, and it's like, you know what, Death's coming, and he's like, man, Death's eating fries with Warlock, I'd be like, okay, I get it. They're cosmic people. Deadpool's just some idiot that bargain basement Wolverine, no claws.
Yeah, which
Oh.
basically just with a Spider-Man kind of motif.
Yeah,
and guns.
exactly. Look, and I enjoy me some Deadpool. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, in his place,
In
great.
its place. This was not in its place. Stop doing it. Stop. If I had a newspaper and I could just,
May I? You're embarrassing yourselves. Stop doing that. Is that
So
okay? Yeah.
let's get back just a little.
stop it.
So Infinity,
Okay.
when Thanos comes back again,
Again,
but this time has a crew.
space pirate Thanos.
Yeah. Now, because
Now he's had crews before.
I was gonna say, like in Infinity
Blood Brothers.
Gauntlet, he had the weird Thanos girl that he created.
Yeah.
That
Taraxia? Or
Yeah.
something like that? I don't know. Look, that was weird.
and then he had Nebula, who is his niece,
Sorta.
sort of. Like
Maybe.
she claimed that he was her
Okay.
uncle.
By the way, look it up, people. When he fried Nebula,
Whew.
that was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, and she's the one who initially stole the gauntlet because
Yes.
yeah.
But look it up. I'm telling you, Thanos finds out somebody's going around the galaxy saying, hey, I'm his granddaughter. He's like, I do death. And I heard you talking about I made life. And he
Yeah.
Burns?
He lit her up. Yeah.
That was pretty rough.
that was rough. And just so we're clear, that whole run of the Silver Surfer, was it Ron Lim?
Yeah.
They depicted the Surfer as a guy. And sometimes we think, oh, he's this cosmic powered badass. but he was always just a dude. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't a super scientist or anything like that. He was just some guy that went, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And when put next to Thanos, who, by the way, is wicked smart,
Yeah.
Powerful, not necessarily all-knowing, but he's always that, I thought of that before you could. It was fantastic. I loved it, loved every minute of it. I stopped reading when he starts losing. I revisit them.
Well, then you could just go, I'll take your hand-me-downs, or like, I'll take just tear them apart, just
Exactly.
throw it at me. Oh, right, yeah.
So,
It's all good to me.
Infinity.
Yes, Infinity.
Yeah, where he gets his crew. It starts off with like Black Swan showing up, which she didn't get any love for the movies.
None whatsoever.
Because she just, I guess, looks normal.
Well,
Like-
the character was almost like, well, I guess the closest equivalent would have been what's her face from the Crisis of Infinite Earths on the DC.
Oh, the
side.
Harbinger.
Yeah, it's like okay, you're just kind of a placeholder.
Yeah, she's evil Harbinger.
I like that.
Yeah. And then Ebony Maw and Corvus Glaive and it just
Proxima Midnight.
yeah, like they all have these cool names. Black Dwarf, which they changed to
Dave.
no, in the movie he's what are they? I forget.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. There's a phrase in the movie.
Old
Yeah.
one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Old One Arm they called him.
lefty.
Well, but here we go again with the analogs as opposed to derivatives. I think the ones, especially ones that are closer to Darkseid's equivalents, they were done better
Yeah.
because Darkseid are very, again, cartoony in there. And again, I think I didn't get any nerd hate thrown at me after the one podcast where I was like, not a big fan of Darkseid's crew, but it's like, don't get,
You're making me like you.
I appreciate his. Of course, I do with my love of the campiness, but the juxtaposition of Darkseid and his like almost circus-like cohorts.
Yeah, like what Gargamel was one of, or the yeah, no, Jasad, whatever. I mean, he's Gargamel. He'll always be Gargamel.
Get that guy some pants. He's just roaming around in a robe, terrorizing Smurfs.
That's the best thing. That's the best thing ever.
Gargamel.
Gargamel.
If it's not, it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the level those characters are.
Yeah.
They're designed and they're executional. Again, there were some stories where they're done very well, but
I mean, Glorious Godfried and
the name though itself is just okay. Really, I mean, he should
Grand
not be
goodness
persuasive because you see that name, it's like okay, this guy,
So
I don't want to repeat what you should actually call him. Yeah, family friendly. Yeah.
There you go.
So, how's this? What about the Green Lantern Silver Surfer crossover where you actually?
Was that the whole DC versus Marvel thing? Was that what you-
No, this
No,
was
no,
like a one-off.
Yeah.
I must have had that somewhere, but I didn't retain the memory, so it must not have been good.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah. So I was like, I think I dumped that memory.
Yeah, but okay. Then what about the DC Marvel stuff? Are you on board with that?
I would say I did collect it because I was, just kind of the completist. It's like, okay, I do like weird crossovers.
Yeah.
To a degree. The problem is all of those failed when you see JLA Avengers, because that was a great.
Oh, that was perfectly
crossover.
done. Yeah.
That was one of the best cosmic, the universes are ending kind of event. It really is good. So the other ones are just kind of, I guess, oddities. Gee,
Yes.
it wouldn't be great if kind of like the kid.
And they would have
Yeah.
the one-panel fights where it's like,
Yeah.
Storm goes against, I don't know.
Wonder
Woman.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
And then it's the next thing you know, she's holding an unconscious Storm. That was tough. And you're like,
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
Boo.
no, a lot of it that was all lame and fan driven, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have Batman versus Wolverine. I would like Batman versus Daredevil.
Right? Or,
Yeah.
Hey, so, speaking of that nonsense, Darkseid versus Thanos. He's too powerful for me. Man, Thanos would never say that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. He literally said everything like, we got to get the flock out of here.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't handle this dude. He's not going to say that.
No. He might turn tail.
Well, no, he's not stupid.
No. Yeah. He's. Hold on. Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do I have a big enough gun? I don't have a big enough gun. I'll be
Yeah.
back.
Hold on. Let me go trick some people.
And he'll tell him, I'm going to go build something that will absolutely devastate you, but I need some time. I'll be back.
He's a '70s villain, out of a exploitation movie.
Dude, I got to tell you, that ate me up because that was a 2-panel battle.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then there's an unconscious Thanos, and Darkseid's like, fool. And you're like, he pwned him.
Yeah.
Can't do that, man. Stupid. I didn't throw that book away because I think it was like $3 at the time, which was pretty expensive for a book. And I was like, I guess I'm keeping this.
I really have to dig back into those when it's
Don't.
Yeah, no.
Nope. But to your point, you mentioned earlier, Infinity Thanos.
Yes.
Thanos. Sorry.
It's
It's
it's interchangeable.
But when he came back as the Dread Pirate, Thanos,
Yeah.
didn't mind it. Didn't mind it.
So you are growing.
Well, I think you can depower him again.
Okay.
User's experience may vary, depending on who's writing him. But I did like that he was like, "Ha-ha, nobody's on Earth. Let's go get it."
Yeah.
That makes sense. He's a Dread Pirate. Him losing?
Are we sure that all the clones were dead? Or
Nah, they can always write that back.
So
They should have.
So you're reading the Jim Starlin like original graphic novels that are like, here's my ultimate Thanos stuff.
Yes.
So I think his final one just came out.
Yeah, so I've got it here. I've got to get it.
Yeah.
tonight,
So okay.
by the
So
way.
you haven't read it yet. So no spoilers on that one yet. Then.
Write me.
I gotta say though, was on board for Thanos versus Hulk, and then jump ship.
Yeah.
That one got bad real quick.
It got super bad, and I was already in. You know my rule: 3 issues. It was 4, and I was like, well, crap.
Yeah.
Completist.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I got DC versus Marvel. I went through all of that, but I was worn down over the years of stuff that just doesn't deliver. And then finally, I was like, why do I want the other 2 of this thing? I'm already in pain.
Exactly. I once finished a Church's 2-piece, and it's the same experience. So,
all right. So we're gonna wrap this up on Thanos wins because currently there's the Thanos miniseries, which is a retroactive miniseries where it talks about, well, like you say, Dread Pirate Thanos.
Dread Pirate Thanos.
Yeah, because currently not all of his cohorts are with us.
No.
Yeah. So
one last note on that: the Black Order, and you guys will know this better than I would because I only focus on Thanos. Were they written recently to reflect the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe, or were they like that and into
the current run? It's kind of hitting that happy medium.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where I mean, they did an okay job with the movie stuff. Corvus Glaive, it's one of those that like anything that touches the blade on his thing is supposed to die just like instantly.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
Sword fight.
Vision kind of wriggled around a little, and Black Widow took it.
Well, it was always a
Like a
question
champ.
that if he was really alive.
Yeah.
That's true. But Black Widow took it like a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yoink. Yeah. So, the answer is kinda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
God, what? Oh, I had I lost it. What was I saying?
Oh, we were talking about Thanos wins.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanos wins.
He's
Sorry,
awesome.
God. I'm the best at this.
You are great.
I host one of these weekly.
You don't say.
Yeah. Flawless. Flawless.
Keep trying.
Eventually, he'll get it right.
Eventually.
Buck's on his grind.
Oh my God. So Thanos wins.
Hate the title.
Love the title.
So the whole thing, this entire podcast started because George was complaining about Cosmic Ghost Rider, where though he's not necessarily an entirely likable character, he's a great character to throw into things because he either hates you right off the bat or loves you right off the bat.
But just a little context, and the discussion was, it's a character that I should like because I do like composite characters. I think going all the way back as a kid, composite Superman. Okay, this if you take a character, this character like the future Guardians, where what if Silver Surfer had the cosmic bands or something? All right, yeah, or what if so and so had the Phoenix foot? Yay, great. And I just couldn't. I love the concept, but somehow it just didn't work for me. The Cosmic Ghost Rider. There, that's where the discussion started.
So he was just super anti the idea of Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I said, well,
more like meh.
read the story behind it. You'll be more on board, or at least have a better understanding of. And that's where you get into, okay, so Thanos essentially has to defeat himself, like future him who has won.
All of it. He won all of it. He hit the lotto.
Yeah. Like not only one, like just destroyed life.
My man.
Yeah.
Love it.
But did he really win, considering his ultimate goal?
Well, you know what? That gets back to this. And let's just get this out here because now you're confusing me. So he won. He defeated all who opposed
He didn't get
him.
married to who he wanted to get married to.
Yeah, but you know what? Younger him was over it, and he had to remind him of why he was over it. And that's, in that case, he figured it out.
So does that make, he's got Hela on the rebound? Is that it?
That ain't a bad deal. You seen her?
Oh, no, I agree.
Well,
Years ago, I said he should have won Hela.
Well, and to be fair, yes, he did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because
It's still traded up.
Because in the most recent Thanos death, before he came back, he did end up in hell.
Yep.
Like in Asgardian hell, HEL.
Right.
And it was like, hey, what up?
But I mean, and she wasn't playing hard to get for millions of years.
No.
No.
And she doesn't have half a skull face.
Well,
She's got an entire
well,
underneath the flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
entire skull face.
But she
it's
conceals
science.
it. She conceals it. Little beautimizer,
So-
little cream.
So, the takeaway from Thanos wins is that Thanos grows as a person as much as a deviant person.
As much as he can.
Yeah.
So I will say this, and this is why I loved that whole run. One, I can't believe Marvel let them do it.
Yeah, which if you read the trade, Donny Cates talks about they were getting ready to cancel the series, and I had this idea, and they said, yeah, sure, we love it, go for it.
that was a great story to read. The story behind the story, that was great.
Yeah.
Because I think Starlin was releasing something at the
Yeah.
same time, which was along the same lines.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you do what you got to do. But which ticked him off. by
Yeah.
the way.
Well,
Well,
he did.
but
He
of
did.
course.
He did do Thanos versus Hulk, so he had to pay for that somehow.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. He hurt me on that one. You owe me $10, man. But yes, Thanos wins. He gets it done. I love what he did with the heroes, or what's left of them,
Yeah.
and the Hulk as his dog. Spoiler. Fan freaking tastic. Love it because Hulk's eternal. He can't die.
I gotta say, I'm very simple, and I like the hero always winning and everything. So it does kind of bug me that happens.
He was the hero of his own story.
But who isn't?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, but yet he's self-loathing at the same time. Confusing.
He just had to get over the girl.
Well, but will he eventually not?
Well, see, that's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
He brought his younger self to say, you know what, dude? She ain't that into you. Let it go. And he's like, I can't. And he goes, well, let me help you.
Yeah,
And he did.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need that person to say, hey, when you're dating this girl and you think things are going to change, no,
Yeah.
things don't change.
Yep. I get it. She
You
looks
need, you need that friend.
yeah. She looks
Yeah.
like DC's Vertigo version of Death. Cute, spunky, still Death.
Yeah, and again, was stringing him along for a million years.
A million years.
That was not cool.
Yeah.
But I do like that he defeated everyone. And no, I didn't need all the exposition that came with it. But other than that, it was fantastic. And Galactus had it coming. So there you go. He's killed trillions. Trillions, people. How many?
He was going to give back more eventually.
How many people has Thanos killed by comparison?
Well,
billions.
How many have stayed dead too? Because
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's responsible for killing half the universe. He snapped it out of existence. That doesn't mean he killed them.
Well, now we're getting to, I guess.
Because that's why Death got mad at him. Because he didn't give her the souls. You know
Yeah.
why? Because she's stringing him along. You see what I'm doing there? It's a whole circle. It all circles back. Everything
Not
we do.
saying there isn't worse villains. I didn't say he was the worst. I just said I didn't like him. I mean, I wouldn't mind if someone took Namor and beat him to death with Namor. That would be great. I mean, I'd love to see
That hurts.
Yeah,
He's
what?
got the square head.
Yeah, well, it's Namor. And
They've kind of drawn out the square head though lately.
Yeah. So back to our final thoughts on Thanos.
He's awesome.
somewhat less than awesome.
I feel like we've moved
You're
a
coming
lot
around.
of ground today. Like we've covered a lot of ground. We've come closer, but not quite there.
Yep.
I think that we'll definitely come back to this at some point, or something
Bring it.
much like this.
Oh, and maybe, who knows? Maybe by then I'll be a complete, Thanos.
You should be.
devotee.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was really kind of fun that the Godzilla crew, so to speak, is like
He
the,
would, however,
this-
beat Godzilla.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry.
of course.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Sans gauntlet. I would. You hope you're not saying that. I mean, he took on the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and Shield at the same
Hatfields
time.
and McCoys,
There we go.
folks.
But that does bring us to an important mea culpa from our last podcast together with
Oh.
Godzilla.
That's right.
Yeah, we got to take
Clean it up.
We
Clean it up.
got to own this. We got to own a mistake we made last time. Go ahead. Should you break it to him?
Go ahead, George.
All right. Well, we were discussing. I think you brought up the point in our Godzilla podcast of worst kaiju.
The worst, yeah.
And it was what, the next day or 2 days
Oh,
later?
it was the next day.
Yeah, it was the next day. I
'Cause-
suddenly realized none of us said Minya.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty
Or,
awful.
or
Yeah.
as the laymen call him, Godzuki, which is different than Godzuki.
Well,
but
yeah.
yeah, he's horrible.
the little gray thing that
Blew the puffs of smoke.
Yeah,
blew the
it
smoke
doesn't
rings.
look like Godzilla.
That-
Which
Yeah.
I was actively rooting for him to be bullied.
Wow.
I was like, bully that dude.
Wow. I guess, you know what? I never thought about that, but yeah, I guess I could retcon that. Yeah.
Oh,
You talk like this.
Yeah, he
needed to
did.
be bullied.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
Well,
New York Comics does not support bullying in any
Yeah.
shape or
this is only
Form.
limited to a imaginary kaiju context
On
only.
Monster Island only.
Yeah, a kid's imagination in a fictitious movie, so it's twice removed from reality. Big disclaimer.
reality twice removed.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanos would never bully.
Yeah. This now became the nerdiest podcast.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hey.
Achievement unlocked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have no more dates. Ooh. My wife's like, you are out.
Oh. So
Just go read more comics.
yeah. Well, gents, we'll have to do this again whenever we figure out the next. Oh yeah, God, this is perfect for this crew to get together. So
All right, you got it.
yeah, we'll see
Thank
you
you
all. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanos wins.
Bye.
Hey kids, Russell here. Listen, thanks again for listening to the podcast. Wanted to take just a moment to share a little bit about me. I have been a Thanos fan for life. That is no secret if you've listened to the podcast. However, what most people don't know is that years and years, decades actually, when I was dating my wife, I had a Marvel PVC Thanos. But it wasn't just any Marvel Thanos. It was Little Thanos. And Little Thanos went everywhere I went. That's right. My wife, who at the time was my girlfriend, was dating me and Little Thanos. So if she asked, where do you want to go eat? I'd go, hey, Little Thanos, where do you want to go? And I'd go, Little Thanos wants chicken. And she put up with that for about 2 or 3 months. And it'd be, hey, can you do the dishes? Little Thanos worships death. He doesn't do dishes. And she'd laugh and move away because, again, I was being recruited to be married. But once we got married, Little Thanos became a liability. Let's all talk about what a liability is, kids. A liability is something that works against you. So, when I would ask Little Thanos questions, she would frown. Until one day, Little Thanos disappeared. He went away. We moved to a new home. Little Thanos didn't make it. And that was when he first died. But fortunately, thanks to our friends at New World, I got a second Little Thanos. That's right. And you know who wasn't happy about that? Oh, that's right. The Adam Warlock to my Magus, my wife. When Little Thanos reappeared and said, Little Thanos worships death, and he wants more chicken, she immediately frowned, and a marriage made in heaven continues to this day. So thanks again, New World. Here's looking at you.